Hello and welcome to another Box's Car Fix. We're with another Vito. This one has appears to be a broken sliding door handle. As you can see, it just won't lock. So we'll start by taking out one of the screws, which you can find just underneath the catch or latch. So you just need a Phillips head screwdriver to remove that. The mountings for this are actually plastic, so remember that when you put it back in. Then we've got to remove the plywood screws, so that's just another set of screws. And then we're just going to remove the original sort of door card panel. So that's got the normal plastic catches that you find. I'm just going to pull them out here by hand because it's already quite broken. So I'm just going to leave that out. So we're just trying the catch now, and as you can see, the locking mechanism seems to be working okay. If you look behind here, you can see what you've got to push in order to make it work. So that seems moving okay. It's a little bit stiff. So I'm going to remove one of the mounting bolts for that now. That's for the latch. And then I'm going to remove the other door handle fastener screw, which is behind just that little plastic cap. So just using my pocket screwdriver, I'm just going to remove that little cap and then take out another Phillips head. It seems to me that the actual mechanism isn't working too badly. It's a little bit stiff, but it seems to be working all right. I'm just removing the other two mounting bolts for the actual locking mechanism itself. Once again, just two Phillips head. And now you can see the actual locking mechanism. Seems to be working all right. It's a little bit stiff. And as you move it up and down, it's slightly sticking. And the problem seems to be near the top. Seems to be a bit dry here. The rest of the actual unit is nicely greased. So what I'm doing is taking a little bit of grease from elsewhere, and because there's plenty of it, and popping it at the top here, where you can feel that it's actually sticking a little bit. And now I'm just going to work that grease backwards and forwards a little bit. Now obviously you can't feel it, but you can actually sort of hear the change in the locking mechanism, the sound of how it's closing now. It's closing a lot cleaner. So I'm going to put the lock back now because that all seems absolutely fine to me. When you put back in these screws, it's pretty straightforward popping in because it's metal on metal. Obviously don't strip it, but it's metal on metal. Pop in so they're nice and secure. I'm going to put the handle back now quickly and give it another try. Now when you're putting the handle back, you must make sure that it lines up. This little fork or prong goes across, sits astride the piece of metal on the lock and pushes it left or right. So you've got to make sure you can line that up. You can actually feel it. You don't actually have to look. You can feel it to line it up. And as you can see, it's still not working, despite greasing it a little bit. It's not working, but it's obviously starting to suspect that it's the actual handle itself. And you tend to find with these handles, when you've got plastic on metal, one of them's going to give up first, and it's normally the plastic, especially if the metal mechanism is a bit stiff. And as you can see here at the back of the handle, there is actually a split to that prong that goes towards the locking mechanism, and it's broken basically. So I'm just going to quickly clean it up because what I'm going to decide to do is I'm going to try and repair it until you can either get a replacement handle. The person that owns it just wants it fixed, as quickly as possible. So what I'm going to do is clean it with a bit of brake fluid. And now what I'm doing is I'm just going to drill into the centre of some of the plastic in the middle, which is quite thick and hard. And The reason I'm drilling this hole is I'm actually going to run a cable tie between that and the prong. So as you can see in the middle of that plastic there, I'm just going to pop in a little bit of Gorilla Glue at the very end there to try and help hold it. The cable tie is going to do most of the work. When I did this, all I did is make sure it's wiped off any excess, because you don't want it bonding to the actual hinging mechanism on it, otherwise it's just a waste of time. And I'm just going to pop through here a nice strong cable tie. 99% of the time you can't do this, it's not going to work. It's just a case of replacement, either second hand or new, depending on the price, wherever your price budget is. But I'm going to try and use this cable tie as a quick and easy fix. How long it will last, I don't know, but it should work fine. So what I'm doing is just running that cable tie through, sticking it through between the two fingers like the prong, and then I'm just going to sort of use that to clamp down and push the glue in place and hold it down. And as you can see, in this instance you can actually get a nice tight sort of fastening mechanism, if you like. It's going to clamp down quite nice and tight, whereas 99% of the time this sort of thing is just not going to work. But we've got that done now. Cut off the remainder of the cable tie. I'm just going to pop the handle back in now, the plastic part of the handle, and try it out. And yeah, it's holding nicely now. So it just needs to be, handle needs to be secured back in. So I'm just popping back in the Phillips head screws. As I said, these go into plastic, so do not over tighten them, or you're going to have something else to repair. And also put back the little plastic cover that covers the one at the front, putting the one that's behind the actual latch part, pop that back in. And as you can see, the mechanism is working fine now, or as well as it can do. It's a quick and simple fix. Pop it back in now, the last screw to hold the actual locking mechanism in place. And it's a case of just putting back the plywood and the inner door card, etc, etc. Nice and simple. So you can see that works now, nice and easy. One thing I did notice though, whilst I was opening and closing the door, the top rail needs to be greased, because it seems to be putting quite a lot of stress on the actual lock itself. So that was also greased. Thanks a lot for watching Box's Car Fix. Take care. As I said, nice, quick and easy one.